your bathroom fan sounds like this, well then stay tuned, because in today's video I'm going to show you exactly how to change that fan as well as change the entire assembly. So let's head up that ladder. Now the first step, regardless of whether you're changing just the fan or the entire assembly, is to remove the vent cover. So you just gently pull down on the cover. It has these metal clips that hold it in. You just squeeze those and the entire cover will come off. Now if you're only replacing the fan itself, then all you have to do is unplug the fan from the outlet. There's no need to turn off power to the bathroom just to do this. And then to remove the fan from the housing, you can see it has a clip here and a clip here and here. And we're just going to use a flathead screwdriver and pry out the fan from the housing. Now your fan may have screws. If that's the case, just unscrew those and remove the fan that way. And once you've got the clip removed, then you can grab your assembly and gently pull it out of the housing. Just like that. What we're left with is the housing with the electrical wiring. Now if you're just replacing the fan, at this point you can just get your new replacement fan. It has a plug, and then slide your fan back up into the housing. You plug that plug into the outlet. Now that we've got our fan out of the way, it's time to remove the housing. Your housing may have some bolts like these two, or it may have some other screws, or it may just pop in and clip in. And before we can remove the housing from the ceiling, we need to unhook the hard wires that wire in the outlet. So we'll pull off the cover, and as you can see, the wiring is now exposed. And we'll go ahead and flip off the breaker. Now, if you're not sure which circuit breaker turns off the power to your bathroom, watch this handy video right here, and I'll show you an easy way to figure out which breaker that is. Now, it's a good idea before you touch the wiring, even though you've turned off the circuit breaker, to use your non-contact voltage tester and just double check that the power is indeed off. So if power was still on, this would be vibrating and lighting up orange, but it's staying green. It's not vibrating, so we have in fact removed power. Now that we know that power is off, it's time to disconnect the outlet. Now yours is probably going to be like this one and have wire nuts. It also could have some clamp lever nuts. Now here in the US, yours is going to be just like this. You're going to have a black hot wire, the white neutral wire, and then the green or green and yellow ground wire. And that's your old outlet. Now we can remove that since we're going to remove the entire housing. Now to remove your fan housing, there's a couple different screws that you're going to have. I have one over here and one over here, and I'm going to remove those now. Now that I've got the screws removed, I should be able to just pull out the fan housing. Now keep in mind that there is a exhaust duct that should be fastened to the housing itself, and we'll have to loosen that and remove the clamp before we can completely remove it. Now this part will get messy, so just be prepared. You're going to get drywall dust and possibly some insulation coming down, so be prepared for that. This is a little bit of a messy job. And you can use your flathead like this, kind of wedging it in between the drywall and the fan housing carefully so you don't crack the drywall. And the idea is to wedge it down through the hole. And mine's not coming right straight through, so what I'm going to do is remove the duct while it's up in the ceiling. Some of them have clamps around the duct. The builder of this home has just used the tape. Now to remove the old wiring out of the housing, there's going to be some kind of pass-through clamp, and we'll have to remove this next. Okay, now that we successfully removed our Romex and the clamp and the wiring from the housing, we can safely pull that through the ceiling now. Push our wiring and duct out of the way. Now we have successfully removed the old housing. Now this has got a 3-inch duct. Some of them are 4-inch, so pay attention to which one you have before you buy your new one. Now my new fan is a 70 CFM in 2 sounds. The sounds is the sound level, the lower the better. And of course the CFM is the airflow, so the higher the better. This one is an upgrade from my builder install. It also comes with some pre-set up lever clamps. So all I'm going to have to do is connect my white neutral, my black hot, and my green ground up in the ceiling once I'm ready to wire it in. There's actually no hard plug in this model. Yours may have a hard plug, so you'll just have to rewire your outlet the opposite of how you unwired it. So the next step is to install the fan and housing into the ceiling. Now that I've got it just sitting up into the ceiling, I'm gonna go ahead and wire in my new fan. That's because the wiring's all on the top side and there's no plug, as I mentioned, on the bottom. You may have to fully mount your fan housing, screw it in, and then wire in your outlet. I've got to do it first. These are push-in wire crimps, so I'll just go ahead and push in corresponding colors to the black hot with the black hot, and it just pushes in like that, and then the white to the white, and then of course our earth ground with the green. We'll give them a tug just to make sure that they're locked in, and they are. So we'll go ahead and push our wiring back into the assembly. We'll go ahead and connect our duct back onto the duct mount for the exhaust. Now that we've got our exhaust duct on, we can go ahead and mount the new housing. Just pull it into place. Now you may have to use a flathead screwdriver and just kind of wedge it into place. And then once you've got it wedged in the perimeter of the hole, it's time to go ahead and screw in the mounting screws, and that'll just screw right into the 2x4 right there. You don't want to screw it into the drywall. I'll go ahead and screw in the second screw. And then the last step, the actual install, is to install your new fan cover. Now you may have picked a model that has a light. Don't forget to plug in your light cord before you put the cover on. And then it should just pop in. Those two metal arms spread out as it goes in and holds it up in tight. And of course the last step is to flip the breaker back on and test it out. And then we'll flip the switch back on. And there you have it. That's much, much quieter than the old fan. So that's it, folks. Whether you want to replace just the fan or if you want to replace the entire thing like I did, it shouldn't take any longer than about 30 minutes or so. It's not too hard of a job. And if you found value in today's video, please, folks, subscribe to the channel here and watch our next video here.